These are the plaintiffs, Jasmine Hunter Boston and Dietrich Boston. Jasmine says she and her husband purchased a car from the defendant, and she ended up stealing the thing back. They're out all this money they paid to the defendant and are suing her for the $4,055.79 they're owed. This is the defendant, Ebony Williams. She says the plaintiff never paid her in full for the car she sold them. They're the ones who cost her money, and if anyone's owed today, it isn't the plaintiffs. She's accused of a car catastrophe. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,100, the money the plaintiffs cost her.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs say they bought a car from the defendant and the crazy lady stole it back in the middle of the night. Now the defendant's saying, you take the car back when the plaintiffs don't pay. It's the case of you're driving me crazy.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Boston, you are suing Ebony Williams, Mr. Boston's cousin, is that correct? For $4,055.79. Representing the $800 you paid for the car that she repossessed and $3,255 in car rental for 2 months. Wow, okay. You have a counterclaim against them for $1,100 for cleaning, pain and suffering, and replacing the key that they wouldn't return. Let me hear from you first. Who wants to speak first, Mr. or Mrs. Boston? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Boston.
We had purchased the car from Ebony. We gave her $500 down, and it was $100 a week. Now,
until when? What was the purchase price of the vehicle?
The purchase price was $1,000.
Okay, so you were supposed to pay $100 every Friday for 5 weeks.
Yes. So I paid her. I end up dislocating my shoulder. We pay her every week, but remind you, every time we get paid, she want us to jump right when she get out of school. I have 3 kids. You know your little cousin have 2 holes in her heart, so I have a lot of appointments and stuff with the baby. If we not there by 5:25, 5:30, y'all, Your Honor.
So what happens? Tell me what happens. Just let's get to the nitty gritty. Actually, I'm going to need to hear from Mr. Boston now. Mr. Boston, what happened on the second to last Friday?
Second to last Friday, Your Honor. I was at my foster mom house, me and my son, and we was in the car, and she I guess Ebony was calling my wife, and I was on the phone previous, so I text her, and I told her, give me 30 minutes. I will give you $100 in 30 minutes. So she didn't want to wait the 30 minutes. So she comes over there to my foster mom house, which is her auntie. That's her auntie. She's my adopted cousin. I'm her adopted cousin.
Okay.
And when she comes over there, she had a very nasty attitude, and she was like went up to my foster mom, and she was telling her that she was cussing, she was screaming.
What was she saying?
So my she was cussing, she was saying, "Oh, this," and he playing with the money and all type of stuff, and when nobody playing. So the fusion situation, I sat in the car till she calmed down, but Ebony didn't want to calm down. She got the whole Lincoln Boulevard in the business. And my foster mom sent my 5-year-old niece to the car. And when she come to the car, I told my mom, I told Ebony, I texted her, I said, I'm finna give Ebony her money.
What happened between you and Ebony there?
She came up to me and she put her fingers in my face, fingertipped me like this, called me a and she gonna have somebody come over there and jump on me and everything.
And then what happened?
Things happened. And she busted the window, and I'm not gonna lie, when she hit me and said all that, I hit her back.
Wait, you said she put her, hold on. Did she hit you or did she put her finger on your forehead?
Yes, she hit me and she was poking.
How did she hit you? Describe how she hit you.
She slapped me in my face.
So she slapped you, and then what did you do?
I hit her back. I slapped her back.
And then what happened?
I slapped her back. And then she went to her car like she was going to go get a weapon or something. And she came to the car, and took her phone and busted the window, snatched the door handle off the passenger side door, kicked the car and everything.
Wait, I did not understand. She did that to the car that she sold you?
Yes.
Okay,
no,
say
she
that.
Did that to the car, to my wife's car, the car that I was driving.
Okay. And then, all right, what ends up happening is that the very next day, she repossesses the car, correct?
Exactly.
Did the police arrest anybody the day before?
No.
All right.
No.
Let me
They
hear
did a
from you, Ms.
statement.
Williams. What do you say happened?
Well, like they previously stated, I was selling my truck, and I told her and Mr. Boston that they can take the car and go drive it so they can see how the car drives. They came back like 15 minutes later and gave me $500. And they wanted me to go to the DMV and go ahead and sign the title over. And like I said to them, I'm not signing no title over until you guys pay me in full. So the agreement was they were going to pay me $100 every week. So the first three payments, the first two payments, they came on time. I called them. They was like, okay, we hear such and such. I met up with them. No problem. Now the third payment, which was when they got to the $800, I called Miss Boston. She gave me the $100 and that was it. So the next week, which would be that Friday that this all happened. Now, mind you, I go to school from 8:15 to 5:30, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I was in school. I have a break at 3 o'clock. It was probably like 3:15. I called Mrs. Hunter and asked her, I was like, Jasmine, y'all know today Friday. Am I going to have to call y'all? I shouldn't have to call y'all. Y'all know it's Friday. Y'all supposed to pay me. She's like, oh, no, your cousin in town. He should be in town when you get out of school. He'll probably be at your auntie house. And I didn't call. I said thank you, and I left it as that. I got out of school at 5:15. My school is on Colonial Boulevard, and it takes no more than 10 minutes to get to my aunt's house. So I called Mr. Hunter from the time I left out of my school parking lot until I got to my aunt's house. He did not answer the call. He texted me, told me that Jasmine lost her job 2 weeks ago. She had to go do surgery. He got fired because he picked up off the floor. So I text him back, just pick up the phone and talk to me. He never picked up the phone. So I text him back and said, I understand. You could have called and told me that. You know what I'm saying? This just like a car dealership. If this was a car dealership, they could have cut the call off and you wouldn't have been able to start the car until you paid them their money. That was all I said. When I got to my aunt's house, Your Honor, he was in their car, the white Fusion that they had. He was sitting in there on the phone smoking. So I got out the car and talked to my auntie. I said, now, auntie, I done asked them about my money. Jazz telling me Dietrich here to pay me. He telling me they done lost their job 2 weeks ago, so they ain't got no money. So I'm still telling my auntie what was saying. She said, that ain't right. So she sends the little niece that's 5 years old to go open the front door to tell him to get out the car. So when she opened the door, she was like, Grandma said, my auntie Mert was like, get out the car and talk to her. The first thing he come out his mouth, I ain't talking to her. I ain't got nothing to say to her. And the little baby shuts the door. So I was like, see, auntie, this is what I'm talking about. He's sitting here in your yard, but he won't be a grown man and sit there and tell me that he ain't got my money. I said, he'll think I'm a real, because Your Honor, excuse my language, because that's what I said. If I call somebody over here and beat him up about my money, because I told him in the beginning, we're family. I don't want to fall out with
y'all don't act like
about
family.
money.
You don't act like family. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is normal in your family, but I can't imagine that it is.
Your Honor, like he said, he's a foster child, so me and him grew up together. We partners in crime our whole entire life. I have not had no problems with my cousin until he got with Miss Hunter. But that's a whole nother issue. But on that day, Your Honor, on that day, after that, my cousin Pee Wee comes. So Pee Wee was like, that's not right. Dietrich, get out the car and be a man and talk to her. He still don't want to get out the car. He done turned his music up at this point. So I'm standing up like this, talking junk. I know I was. I'm not going to lie. I was talking junk. So he sees me talking junk. He gets out his car and stands right there in the door of the car talking junk. I'm not going to back down from nobody. So I walk up towards him and cussing him out. Yes, Your Honor, I dome checked him. I did. I'm not going to lie. I was mad.
You dome checked him. That's what. You go like that?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened?
That's exactly what I did.
Okay, and then what happened?
He punched me.
Punched you with a closed hand?
In my face.
Punched you with a closed fist?
Yes, he did, right here. Yes, ma'am. And I stated that to the police report and everything, and I have pictures. But he hit me. So when he hit me, my natural reaction was to go to my car. My cousin Pee Wee picked me up and stopped me. So at this time, Mr. Boston gets in his car.
Wait,
so
I lost you. Your cousin Pee Wee stopped you from going where?
To my car.
Why? What was he worried you were going to do?
I was going to get something to hit him because he should have put his hands on me.
I got it. Go ahead. All right, Pee Wee knows
So,
more than I
my
do. I
cousin
thought she was
stopped me.
leaving this. All right, go on.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So once Mr. Boston gets in his vehicle, my cousin Pee Wee puts me back on the street, like put my feet on the floor. So at this point, Pee Wee moves, and I'm on the curb of the road where the car is. He backs the car out a little bit and act like he's gonna hit me. So that causes me to hit the car with my phone. And I told the police I did. I did. Because at this point, you're revving your car up like you're going to hit me. So I'm defending myself. So that's how her window gets broke. So while I do that, you know what he does?
What does he
Judge?
do? What does he do?
He backs the car out and go and hit my car and drives off.
He hits your car on purpose? And,
Yes.
And what
Miss Hunter
happened?
was nowhere on the scene. He
Okay.
drives off. That's why I called the police.
All right. Did the police arrest him?
No, because when he drove off, he left. Miss Hunter comes back with her son in the car. And
In
she
which
comes
car?
to
In
start
which
arguing
car?
with
In
my
which
other
car?
cousin.
In which car?
His car, the white car.
Okay.
That's mine.
That they already had.
Right, okay.
So she comes back to the scene and tells the police it's no longer a hit and run. And I'm saying another cousin was there, and she was like, it's still a hit and run. She starts to argue with my cousin, trying to fight her. She literally took her shirt off in the middle of the street. The police told her to put her shirt back on and get out the road. I have footage, Your Honor. I sent the footage in.
You mean I ain't got nail problem? Man, my man's straight. Fuck wrong with you, ho?
What is that supposed to prove? The people in the back? The people in the background are who? Who's the one that looks like they're in a white bra?
The person, that's Miss Hunter.
And then the next morning, you repossess the car because you didn't get the 100 the day before. And this is your video of the car.
I said, go. This is nasty. Look at this nasty. Look at this. Look at this nasty. All this was in this car. Nasty. Big old bag of trash full of nasty. Just nasty.
When had you repossessed the car? Friday night?
No, ma'am. I did it Saturday morning.
Okay. And you tow the car? You didn't have a key for it?
No, because they would not give me the key. They still have it.
Ms. Williams, if you were 1 day late on a banknote, would you expect them to repossess the car the next morning? No, right?
No, ma'am. I was not going to repossess the car. Correct. I was not going to repossess the car until he hit me and hit my car.
Right. So it's truly not about them breaching the contract. It's because he hit you.
No, it wasn't even about, yes, ma'am. It wasn't even about the money because like I stated to my aunt, if they was going to be late, they could have told me they was going to be late. That's fine. But once you hit me and hit my vehicle that I'm driving, we have a problem.
So
he's actually
now what happens? So you pay $400 to get a new key. You pay $200 to clean it out, and you want $500 for pain and suffering. What the pain and suffering would be due to what? Because
I was humiliated. He hit me. We was on the middle of the street in broad daylight. This is my cousin. Everybody knows this is my cousin.
I know, you don't check them.
That's
true. So you pop him in the head and then he hit you back.
I'm not even mad about the hit, about him hitting me, because I know like a female, you hit a man, they're going to hit you back.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with female or male. It's just whether or not who hit first and who was, But anyway, go ahead.
I understand. I'm not mad about me and him in the dome checking. I'm not mad about that. What I'm mad about is the simple fact that you hit my car. Like you literally hit my car and left.
Can I ask you, what did the police do about the, quote, hit and run? Did they end up arresting him or no?
No, and I said that to them as well. I filed a police report for the hit and run and for the assault. Mr. Boston told me he got police in his pocket. The police never picked him up. He didn't never get arrested. The case ain't even been heard.
So let me ask you a question, Ms. Boston. You say you spent $3,255.79 in car rental. Do you have any proof of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, because I don't see it in the evidence, so show it to me.
Hold on 1 second. It's in your name, babe.
But I asked you all everything. You kept me.
Doesn't matter. You know what? Let me put this to bed because you two don't need to argue about this. You got enough issues. It doesn't matter if you even showed it to me. This is not something that I would order her to pay. The fact that her repossessing a car when you were late on your payment caused you other problems doesn't mean that she has to pay for the other problems. So now you have a counterclaim against them for replacement of the key. But that happened because you decided to tow the car when they were 1 day late. A bank would never do that. It has to be a material breach of the agreement for you to be able to repossess. Like 1 day late. You may be mad at him. You know it isn't because of the 1 day late. You're mad at him because he hit you. So that's on you that you had to pay $400 for an expedition. That's fine. You're not suing for that here, so you guys must be working for that somewhere else, because what I've got is replacement of the key, $400. No. The cleaning of the Ford, no. And pain and suffering, I guess that's for the punch or something because you dome checked him? No. So on your counterclaim, no. On your claim against her for $3,200 for car rental, no. But we've got ourselves a little problem on the $800. And the problem is that if I have to find their breach to be a material breach to authorize you to repossess it that day, then I'd look at them and say, too bad, so sad. You had a material breach, so she gets to repossess. But I don't think 1 day is a material breach. So I find that you actually breached when you repossessed the car, because 1 day isn't a material breach. And you've been very honest with me anyway. You are very clear that you didn't repossess it because of the 1 day breach. You repossessed it because you are angry at your cousin. So I am ordering you to return the $800 that the plaintiffs paid you and their court costs. That is how we are resolving this case. Good luck, folks.
All right, thank you.
So, the judge finds for the plaintiffs in this amazing case, and the defendant has to give back the $800 that they paid her for that car. She can't be too happy about this. Let's see what she feels.
Well, I think the judge, she did it fair. I just feel like I shouldn't have to pay the $800 being that he hit my car with another vehicle. But everything else, I'm fine with it because at the end of the day, I still came out on top. For me, that's how I feel.
All right, let's see what Mr. and Ms. Boston have to say about this now. Bottom line is you're going to get the $800 back. You don't get any money for a rental car, and you couldn't prove you had to, pay for the rental car. That's the problem there. You know that.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's already paid for.
And we finna go get a rental right now.
And I'm finna go get another rental
right now.
All right. You're happy, huh?
Anytime I beat that fake family of mine, I'm always happy because they not real family, fake.
Okay.
Thank y'all so much, people. I love you guys.
Okay, Doug, let's talk a little bit about what your rights are when you sell something to somebody and they don't pay you. You cannot repossess that item unless you have a lien, unless you have a contract that says you have a right to repossess in the event that the person doesn't pay. And then there has to be some decision on when you're allowed to do it. In this case, the defendant did it when the plaintiffs were 1 day late. That seems unreasonable. But this is where, in a contract, ahead of time, if you're the seller and you want that kind of a lien, you write in there that you have the right to repossess, and then you write in there how many days late they can be before you actually can go over there and take the car back.
What is the secret to a successful, fruitful, and prosperous marriage?
I've been searching for that secret.
I don't like your tone.
Try to find somebody that you get along with and make sure that there's a lot of laughter in the relationship. You got to be able to laugh at stuff because bad stuff is going to happen to you.
Right.
In your lifetime. And if you can't kind of roll with the punches and try to laugh at it a little bit, you're going to go crazy.
Somebody asked me, it was your brother who asked me the other day, what's it like having him in the house all the time? Yeah. When you retired back in April of 2020, I said, it's not bad. I really like him. And he started laughing. And it's true. If you like each other's company, that helps. But we've always communicated pretty well.
I think so.
We don't go to bed mad.
No. That's a good rule to
I find you funny. You find me funny.
Yeah, and I tell the same stupid jokes over and over again. And I keep
laughing. I'm the perfect person because I forget the punchline all the time.
All right, well, that's
But we kind of just, I think, it goes a long way to find somebody whose company you actually enjoy.
Right.
And keeping the communication open.
I think you're right.